What's up, everybody? This is Bruce, aka Geektacular. You're watching Big Brother Geek on Geektacular.TV. How's it going, everybody? We've got some really cool stuff tonight. So for those of you who haven't seen the show yet, this is Geektacular.TV's Big Brother show. So this is where I basically geek out about Big Brother. So, since episode 1, this is episode number 2, and at this point we actually have all of the house guests announced, and we have interviews with them, video interviews online on several different sites, including CBS.com, and also I have some predictions here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through this person by person, and I kind of have a rough order. And I'll try to see if I can pick who maybe I think will have kind of the few people who will have the best chance at winning, maybe. So I've got my little cheat sheet here where I took notes about everybody and kind of put them in the order that I think they'll probably end up being once all the votes are cast. So for those of you who haven't seen it, you can go over to cbs.com/bigbrother, and you can actually watch short kind of interviews with each of the house guests, and some other sites got interviews as well at the press junket. So whichever way you want to go, or you can watch both of them and get a really good idea about them. So here are the house guests. And thanks to BigBrotherGroup.com for this image here, courtesy of them. So this is just a kind of a good overall image, so you can see everybody's face and the names that go with it until we get that kind of ingrained in our minds. The first person, I kind of want to start at the bottom of the list, of my list of possible contenders, and then kind of move up to kind of the more compelling candidates, in my mind at least. So this is not a dig on any individual people or anything like that. They might turn out to be really cool people. You know, you never know. First impressions sometimes are kind of weird, but a lot of times they will tell you a lot about somebody. So yeah, it's these are strictly based on first impressions. Haven't seen them on the show, haven't seen them on the live feeds, know nothing about them other than just kind of the basic intro interviews. So really high on my list, actually, who we'll talk about first is Caitlin. So Caitlin is actually a bartender, and I think bartenders, in my mind, tend to do... Well, actually, if we're going to start at the bottom of the list... Okay, so let's start with the least compelling people first, and then we'll move up to people like Caitlin, who I actually like. So, at the bottom of the list, Alyssa, her, a.k.a. Rachel Riley's sister. Good gosh. She is going to be an instant target. She is an insta-target. I mean, she doesn't... I feel sorry for her, but she really doesn't even have to do anything in order to get canned from the house. You know, people who have seen Rachel's seasons probably don't desire to spend an entire 100 days in a house with her sister, and B, I think they're hoping to get the same kind of gusto out of her sister that they did out of Rachel, the same kind of like quirkiness, but I think it's going to come across as her trying to be sort of a Rachel replacement. And so I think that in itself is going to be bad. This is kind of a very similar thing that happened to Willie last season. I mean, He was a target as soon as people started figuring that out. I don't know if she's going to try legitimately to lie and not have people know, but I mean, she looks very similar. She sounds almost identical. So even if she tries to not have this happen, you know, I don't know how she would talk her way out of that. And so I'm putting her on the bottom because I think there's a very good chance she's, possibly through no fault of her own, will become kind of an instant target. So the next person I want to talk about is Judd, who is this guy here. He actually reminds me. Actually, I'll talk about both him and Jeremy kind of together. So we've got Judd and we got Jeremy there. So they actually they seem very similar to me. They're kind of southern straight shooter kind of people, I think. They don't seem all that likable. I mean, they're not unlikable, but I just don't think they're gonna have enough spunk to get them to the end of the game. So while they might be nice people, I saw kind of the same things in both of them. They both seemed maybe confrontational, you know, if people push their buttons or something like that. Judd a little bit more so than Jeremy. I think Jeremy will go a bit farther than Judd will, but they're very they feel like they have sort of similar personalities. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but you know, you never know. We'll see. But I don't see them lasting a terribly long time unless they get into a really good alliance, maybe. That's kind of always the kicker about trying to predict things like this, is that you never know who people are going to kind of team up with, however, you know, unassuming or however weird their alliance might be. You know, you never know who's going to hook up in an alliance together and kind of float a few other people along. So, but I would kind of put them at the bottom in terms of they are an alliance. I fear that they're going to be expendable. So the next one that I want to talk about is GinaMarie. I really do not like GinaMarie. I don't think her quirky energy is endearing. I think they're trying to make her a bad Gin City ripoff, basically, from last season. So she's kind of the lamer rehash of Gin City. And anybody who watched last season knows pretty well that Gin City arguably did not deserve to get as far as she did. Not saying necessarily that she didn't, but she hit a lot of lucky breaks. Kind of in the second half of that season, she was kind of in the eye of like a hurricane going on around her. So she was safe for most of it, but I think she just got, you know, she got real lucky on several occasions and happened to kind of be attached to the right people. But I don't see this girl making it too far, just off of her sort of, I don't know. She's not brash, but she has a very similar persona to Gin City, but I don't think is quite as likable. So I don't see her going very far. The next one that we're going to talk about is Amanda. Amanda, she, I don't know. I think she might be potentially offensive to some people, possibly. I think she's going to be confrontational. I mean, I know at several points in some of her intro interviews, she said how she's going to be, you know, real understanding and nice and cool, but she seemed a little bit, you know, a little bit too much of a straight shooter for my kind of tastes in terms of Big Brother players. So I'm worried that she's going to get into a fight with some other people about things. I'm worried she's going to make some enemies. So that's why I'm kind of floating her down sort of closer to the bottom of the pack here. now kind of bringing up sort of the top of the bottom, or kind of the middle area here. So referring back here, we've got Nick, who, oh my gosh, Nick. I predict he's going to be way too arrogant. He's going to be way too sure of himself, and he's going to get himself into trouble, either via showmance or some other means. So, yeah, he's too arrogant, and he's already admitted his weakness to females in terms of having a showmance. So I think he's going to have I think he's going to get into a bad showmance thing, because he comes in with the preconceived notion that he should be having a showmance. I think that that's why he's there. That's what he wants to do. But if it's not one that happens really naturally, I don't know. If it doesn't happen naturally, and if it's not part of an explicit strategic move, I don't think that it really works. The only two times that it works is if you specifically make a plan, like Boogie and Will style, to, get curry the favor of somebody of the opposite sex, and then strictly for your alliance, like you make the plan. Or it just happens kind of outside of your strategy, and two people actually really do like each other and get together. So, but if you try to force it, like I believe will, that's gonna get him into some hot water, I think. Next up, we've got Jessie. So she is she's nice. I think Jessie has a good shot of floating for a while, I think. She seems really gullible, but she seems likable. So, depending on who she gets attached to, I don't think she's a contender to win, but I think she'll, if she attaches herself strategically to people, I think that she will go pretty far, in my opinion. So, after Jessie, I think I would put Erin kind of one step above Jessie. Sort of in a similar category for her personality. She's really nice, but instead of Jessie's downfall is that I feel like she might be a little bit gullible in terms of joining an alliance as a disposable member. But Erin, on the other hand, she's also nice, kind of in a similar sort of all-American kind of way. But she has made it adamant that she doesn't want to compromise her morals for the game. So that can sometimes get you near the end, but it usually doesn't get you the money in the very end. Staunchly sticking to your morals no matter what generally gets you somewhere in the middle of the herd. So I don't think she is a contender to win. So after Erin, we have David. I might put David below Erin, possibly. David is an obvious Hayden rehash, essentially. And those people don't mind having them around, and they usually, that type of personality generally isn't too confrontational, so I think he'll be around for a little while. If he wants to stick around for a long time, similar to Hayden, he should find a good alliance quick. Because, unless he's really good at comps, I guess. But I think in the long term, also, the guy's accent is annoying. He's much more annoying than Hayden ever was, I think. So, it kind of depends on the nuances of his personality and if he gets in an alliance. But I don't think he'll be in the finals. So next we have Candace. I really like Candace. I think she's got a few things going for her. She's got the Southern charm, She seems really genuine, really nice, and she's also athletic, being a former professional cheerleader. So I think she's actually got a real good shot in being in the top few. I think she'll stick around. I think she's got a bit of toughness in there. So I think she'll do well in comps probably. So I'm looking forward to Candace. I think she's got a lot of potential. Spencer is who I'm going to be talking about next. Spencer, and I'll talk about McCrae also at kind of the same time. Spencer and McCrae both. I would probably put McCrae maybe a little bit above Spencer. They both kind of have that sort of easy to talk to, geeky type of personality, I think. Even though Spencer's kind of a little bit more of a sort of man's man. I think both of them kind of exhibit the same kind of innocent, nice, a little bit kind of indie / dorky kind of guy thing going on. And at least Spencer, but I think both of them have some Big Brother experience as well, past Big Brother knowledge and things like that, which always helps a lot. So I think both Spencer, I really hope that Spencer and McCrae get together in an alliance with some other people, because I think they would be, I think they'd be really good. I think they're going to be really good at strategy as well. And both of them seem very nice, non-confrontational. I don't expect either of them to really stir any pots. So I think Spencer and McCrae will be around for a while, personally. Then right above them, we'll talk about Howard, who, he works with kids. He's very, very athletic. So I think he's really going to be the competition force to deal with these days, and that could put him at a disadvantage. Given that sometimes people who dominate comps, get targeted pretty quickly. But the benefit is if you win enough comps, you can get yourself out of some sticky situations. So I don't know, but he's so nice. I think that's really a combination that can get you pretty far. Is, really athletic, which would normally make you a target, but also really, really nice and kind of, a nice, respectable sort of person, which makes people, even though you're athletic and dominating comps, makes them not want to kick you out. So I think Howard has a really good shot at being in the last few. So the next person we're going to talk about is Helen. So Helen, I really like Helen also. She's up here. She is she works in politics. So I think she has a lot of good people skills. I think she is able to work, many different people at once. I think she'll be really good at the social game. I'm a little worried that she's coming into the game with a preconceived lie, because that is never good. Because, once you commit to a lie in Big Brother, you cannot reverse that. You cannot have people find out either. It's almost never worth it to come up with a lie. I mean, Matt Hoffman's lie about his wife having, super rare bone cancer or whatever it was. That really got people mad, even though people didn't really find out until he was already out. But it didn't, it definitely didn't curry him any favor with anyone. Also, even just a small lie, like Danielle last season, who lied about being a teacher. She didn't want, or lied about being a nurse by saying that she was a teacher or something. I think that was what it was. Even if it's a stupid lie, that means nothing. If people find out that you lied, it it's a credibility killer in Big Brother. I mean, which is why really you shouldn't come in with any preconceived lies. You're gonna get caught up in enough of them inside the game that you don't need one about your entire life when you come in, I don't think. Unless it's something really bad, but I don't even know what that would be. So I think coming in with a preconceived lie is going to be a problem. I'm hoping that it's not a big deal. I'm hoping she doesn't have to tell like everyone at once, like when they introduce themselves. The more people that know about the lie, the worse it is when you reverse it. So, or if it's found out. So I'm a little worried about that, but she's really likable. I like that she has kind of political psychology sort of thing going on. I think she's going to do well. I really like Andy. So Andy's up here. He seems generally really nice, really likable. He reminds me a lot kind of Reagan, sort of that personality where he's usually nice. He's kind of, you know, he's a bit over dramatic at times, but hopefully he ends up being kind of as tough as Reagan, because that was one of Reagan's kind of strong suits, was that he was pretty tough when he wanted to be. So I think as long as, you know, Andy sort of goes along with that, and assuming that he doesn't, you know, he doesn't stir any pots or anything like that. He doesn't seem confrontational, so I don't think he would. So I think he should get in, you know, a good alliance as well. I think he would be a good alliance member, because I feel like he can. I feel like he can kind of get on a lot of different people's good sides without it seeming, you know, odd that he's hanging out with different groups of people. Kind of an ambassadorial sort of mentality. So I like Andy. I like him a lot. I think he'll be around until the final few. And near the top of my list is Caitlin. I really like Caitlin. I don't know why. She seems tough. She's got kind of that bartender psychology thing going on. So she's used to talking and interacting with a lot of different kinds of people and making them feel sort of welcome and at ease, basically, which is you know, an invaluable quality in Big Brother, making people feel good about themselves. So, and she seems tough. I'm hoping that she's good at comps as well. I mean, she seems relatively fit. So, I'm hoping that she'll be a competitor there as well. And so my top few, kind of my top 5, I guess, would be Caitlin, Andy. I'll go back to the list here. Probably would be Caitlin, Andy, Helen, Howard, and then maybe McCrae. And then right below that, I would put Spencer and Candace. So Caitlin, Andy, Helen, Howard, Spencer, Candace. And then below that, I'm not sure. I think Aaron, then David. So I would do Caitlin, Andy, Helen, Howard, Spencer, Candace, Aaron, David, something like that. And then everything below that is going to get cut in the first half of the show. That's going to be my prediction. And if I had to pick a winner right now, if I'm gonna pick the final 3, I think and this all depends on alliances and all that, you know, winning comps and luck, basically, all that kind of stuff. I think my final 3, I'm gonna go with Howard. I'm gonna go with Howard. I'm gonna go with Candace. And I'm gonna go with Caitlin. I'm gonna go Caitlin, Howard, and Candace. And then for the winner, I don't know, man. It's really tough. I think for the winner, I think it's gonna. I don't know. I would not be surprised if Candace won or got second place, or came very close to winning. I don't know. She just seems. I have a good feeling about Candace. I have a good feeling about Caitlin. I have a good feeling about Howard. I really want to see. I think I'm going to be rooting for kind of Spencer and McCrae. I hope they're kind of on the same team once they meet each other and everything. So, obviously they already have at this point. So today's actually the night before the season premiere. So obviously they've been in the house for a few days already. So they know each other. We don't know what they think of each other or anything, but I think it'll be interesting. So those are kind of my picks for this season. Hopefully you guys thought that was interesting. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. You can leave any of your thoughts about it in the comments below. And yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. Tomorrow is the premiere. So I'm going to be, throughout the season, I'm going to try to do one show per week and kind of recap the week and what I thought of things happening and stuff like that. If anything really crazy happens on the live feeds, I might consider doing sort of an extra show. Or, if something on the show that's crazy happens. But I'm hoping to kind of do some visceral reactions after every eviction, kind of recapping the previous week and sort of where things went wrong and where things went right and things like that. So I'm not going to really do like a power ranking every single week, but I'll kind of keep these picks in mind and see sort of if I see any of them kind of jeopardizing their spot in my list there. But yeah, I think this will be a really good season. They have a good, diverse group of people. A lot of them seem genuinely nice. There really don't seem to be that many crazy or really offensive type of people, which I kind of like. Obviously that brings in fights and stuff like that, but I think it'll be a good house this year. So if you like this video, please remember to thumbs up this video. Thumbs up it. Remember to subscribe if you like what we're doing. You want to get all these videos popping up automatically when you sign into YouTube. Go down to under this video and subscribe. If you're into social networking at all, you can follow us on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube. And that's going to do it for me. I am Bruce, aka Geektacular, and I'm looking forward to the Big Brother season premiere tomorrow.